Hi guys, my name is Caitlin. I'm from grassfedgirl.com and I'm a holistic nutrition consultant. And today we're going to be talking about the #1 biggest carnivore diet mistake. So stay tuned and we're going to go all the way through it. So a little background about me. I started working on my health about 10 years ago when I got Hashimoto's thyroid disease. And I was so sick that I was in the bed, could barely move, and it was awful. So it made me really re-examine what I was doing with my lifestyle, my exercise, my everything. So I went from doing low-fat dieting, exercising constantly, running, to eating more of a paleo diet and learning about that and going to conferences and meeting lots of people that were leaders in the paleo movement. And that really led me down the path of healing. And later on, I transitioned more to a keto type diet because I realized that carbohydrates were very addictive for me. And so I learned that I just had to have very, very low carb. And then my digestion was still a mess. So I had to cut out vegetables too. And that's what led me to the carnivore diet, trying to fix my digestion. And since then, it has improved so much. And also my thyroid has improved. So I love the carnivore diet, but I think there's some mistakes that people make when they come into it. And a lot of people come straight off of, maybe Facebook or Instagram and they learn about the carnivore diet, but they don't know the roots and the background of it. And so I think it's really important to understand that the carnivore diet is a spectrum. It is part of a spectrum of ancestral diets. So going all the way back to when we were hunter-gatherers, what we would have eaten would have been primarily meat. Before the invention of agriculture and we started staying in one place, we stopped being nomads, we started growing food, and a lot of our health problems started at that point. We got shorter, our teeth started falling out. We may have lived longer, but it was in a more poor health state. So it's important to understand these changes and why we're doing this diet, not just, okay, it's a diet, these are the rules, and that's it. So mainly think about educating yourself. Educate yourself about what is the carnivore diet, what is the paleo diet, what is the keto diet. These are all parts of an ancestral diet, and it's just whatever fits you best. So you just have to move up and down that spectrum based on your health goals. So I'm so glad that I came from a paleo perspective because I did so much research and learning from so many amazing authors. And I have several of my favorite books here right now. So I think if you're just new to the carnivore diet, you really want to have some background and learn about where these ideas come from. And maybe if you can have plants, or if it's better for you not to, or maybe you have none now, but maybe you introduce them. And by really educating yourself, what you can learn from these authors that have done it for themselves and have looked back through history. One of my first favorite books is Primal Body, Primal Mind by Nora Gagaudis. This one is really amazing. She talks all about what our primitive ancestors would have eaten and why, and what kind of fats we should have and what kind of fats we should avoid. And this is just one of the best paleo books out there, but I don't really even consider it a paleo book. It's just a nutrition book about our natural human diet. So definitely this is one of the ones that I read first, and it really opened my eyes to all the reasons. And I think once you understand the reasons why you're doing this, it's much easier to stick with it and to understand, okay, this is what humans should eat. And it's not really an option just to go back to eating Wonder Bread or something like that. Another one of my favorite books is Primal Blueprint. So Primal Blueprint is by Mark Sisson. It is one of the best books I've ever read. It's super simple. It's a great one to start out with. He has the famous carbohydrate curve, kind of figuring out where you sit on that curve as to what your goals are, how athletic you are, how much you want to lose, and how many carbs you can get away with eating. So this one has so much great information. It's very relatable. Anybody can understand this one, and you could read it over and over and find new stuff all the time. It's one of the best ancestral diet books ever. Okay, this is a classic, Nourishing Traditions. So Nourishing Traditions is by Sally Fallon. It is based on the works of Weston A. Price. So she follows the work of Weston A. Price, who was a dentist in the 1930s. He traveled the whole world looking at people's teeth, and he studied what made their teeth have cavities or not. And he found that the countries where they ate Western diets had the most tooth decay, and where they ate ancestral diets, where they didn't have contact with Western food, such as grains and sugar, were the most healthy. So, and he says that if they did have grains, they would ferment them and sprout them and soak them, something that we don't do anymore. So this is amazing, amazing book. Wonderful information. Tons of information about eating good fats. So definitely get this one too. All these are down in my Amazon shop in the description box. So it is so important to understand where we're coming from, why we're eating this way, and not just think, oh, you know, I had a bad day, I'm gonna have a Diet Coke and a package of fries, and just be like, screw it. Because once you know this, you can't unknow it. You can't unknow the history and the past and the origins of the human diet. So even if you have a bad day, you'll always want to go back and start again. And I think that's what's helped me stay on the carnivore diet for 2 years. And then also before that, I was following a keto or paleo diet since 2010. So about 10 years I've been on an ancestral type diet, and my health has improved every year. So definitely just understanding this stuff, it makes you stick with it as a lifestyle, as a maintenance plan. And even if you're not always losing weight, you are always learning about your body. And one thing that I learned about later on, not when I first started, but more and more lately, is inflammation. Especially since I was pregnant, and my little buddy is sleeping right now, so he's letting us make this video. Thank you so much. And the inflammation, when you have Hashimoto's and you have autoimmune disease, inflammation is crazy. So even if I eat something one day, I will bloat up the next day. My fingers, I can't get my rings off. There is just so much swelling when I eat something that doesn't agree with me, such as a food sensitivity. So mine are dairy, vegetable oils, of course, any kind of, when I eat out, not as sensitive as I used to be, gluten, all those I try to avoid. So when I eat something, peanuts, chocolate, eat something that's not carnivore or not really agrees with me, I will swell up. And so learning about those things that cause you inflammation will also keep you on the right track, because you will just feel like crap if you eat those things. So really focus and pay attention on that inflammation. And those foods coincidentally are the same ones that a carnivore diet takes out, and also a paleo diet takes out. Those are the foods that we didn't really have access to before the advent of agriculture. All right, so the number one mistake that people make when they are doing a carnivore diet is thinking of it as a diet and using that mindset of a temporary fix. So you want to get rid of that idea and think of it as a spectrum of healing, learning about your body, knowing that when you do heal your insides, the weight will drop off. Now, I've recently had surgery. I've had a traumatic time with my body having a baby, and right now the weight is just not quite falling off me like it was before. So I think that it's kind of a lesson that when my body heals, it will be ready to lose the weight. So I just have to give it the nourishing foods that it's supposed to have, and then that will happen. And I just have to have faith. So viewing this carnivore diet as a diet, it should never even be called diet. It should just be called a healing plan or something like that, because it is so much more than that. And I came to it, I told you, to fix my digestion. Many of my friends, had different thyroid diseases, different IBS type symptoms. Many people have severe autoimmune diseases. There's just on and on and on of why you might want to try this. Arthritis, anything like that, you might want to try this kind of diet to improve your symptoms and to feel better. And eventually you will lose weight. So just get rid of the diet mindset, get rid of the calorie counting, get rid of the weighing and measuring, and just think about this as a longevity plan and Think about it that you're going to do, maybe measure your body rather than getting on the scale every day. Focus on the non-scale victories and just get rid of that diet mindset and just see this as a long-term plan, and the body will heal itself and the weight will start shedding off. So the number one mistake is your mindset, getting rid of the idea that this is a diet, and everything will work from there. If you focus on healing your gut with lots of meat on the bone, bone broth, lots of collagen from animals, you will be in the driver's seat and things will just start going your way. When you remove those inflammatory foods, then slowly but surely you will see the weight dropping off. Everything will start healing from the inside out and you will be a happy camper. So I hope this video has been really helpful. Please, I'm a work-at-home mom and it's really hard for me to make these videos now that I have a baby. So please subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment of what you want my next video to be about. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to get my Carnivore 30 ebook. It is right here. You can get it at carnivore30.info. It has 182 pages all about how to start the carnivore diet, and it has 2 meal plans, one for eating out, one for staying at home. It has how to deal with the holidays, how to deal with special events, how to deal with travel, and I think you will love it. Please let me know if you already have it down below and tell me what you think of it. I really appreciate you watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.